If only I could turn back time.
In this episode, I'm making an automatic wheat farm. The way the farm works is I press this button, it dispenses the water. I then pick up all the seeds and then replant them manually. Usually I'll wait for all the wheat to be fully grown though. This is just a test to show you how it's going to be looking. In this clip, I am now placing down slabs so that way it catches the runoff water. That way, if a player is in the middle of the pathway, the water doesn't push you. Now the entire floor will be made out of cobblestone like in my bases and in all my redstone contraptions. I am at this point now finished with an entire side, so I'm now placing the glass because for crops to grow you need sunlight, or like if you're underground you at least need like glowstone or torches, some kind of light for the crop to grow. I'm now trying to get a feel for how I want the roof to look. Now I am adding these pillars to add more detail to the build as a whole. These logs will eventually be stripped. Alright, so this is the greenhouse finished. I'm going to show you how to test it. So once you wait for all the crops to grow, they're all done, come over here, hit one button, it does that side, the other, does that side, boom, boom. There's a cat in here apparently. Maybe we'll tame him and make him our pet. Or I mean, I guess it could be a her, I'm not judging. And just from that, look at how many seeds I get. So I put all the wheat in here. And then what I'll do is I'll come here and I'll start replanting the seeds in every individual one. So down a few layers underneath my base where I have all my other stuff, I decided to start mining because I really need diamonds. And in the process of this, I found something very interesting. As you can see here, it's a creeper spawner. I went ahead and lit everything up because I don't need them spawning while I'm down here. What I figured to do is, the best thing for endgame is elytra and rockets. One key ingredient for rockets is gunpowder. So if I have a creeper spawner, I can just get gunpowder that way. Easy and simple. So basically the way the farm is going to work is the creeper spawner allows them to spawn in the air. The water then pushes them forward into a one wide gap. In this one wide gap is magma blocks, which will slowly kill the creepers without them blowing up. Underneath the magma blocks is a hopper minecart, which then picks up the gunpowder through the blocks, putting it into a item elevator, which then puts it into a chest. It is now completed, fully decorated, and as you can see, here's where the gunpowder ends up. Since I was speaking of rockets, another thing you need is paper, which you can get from sugarcane. So I figured, why not make a sugarcane farm in the very exact same location, that way to make things easier. The way the sugarcane farm is going to work is there are 4 rows of sugarcane. Each row has a set of non-sticky pistons to break the crop. And because they are set one higher than the source block will not be broken and they'll always be able to grow. With the glowstone added, it brings up the light level higher, that way it'll grow quicker than normal. Especially since we are underground and not above sunlight. Now the way the pistons are going to be activated is on a redstone hopper clock. And basically what a redstone hopper clock is there's 2 hoppers running into each other. And there's a bunch of redstone mechanics involved that I'm not going to go into explaining. But basically, you put a stack or how many ever items you want in there to to set the time. So basically 1 item equals 1 second. So for how many ever items you have in there is that many amount of seconds or minutes. So the way I wanted mine set up is to use 2 stacks of like dirt. That way it gives it enough time for the crops to grow, then it'll break them, and then gives time for them to grow again. Now that the farm is done and the room is decorated, I come here, and that's where the sugarcane ends up.